The chandelier at Cirque cast unflattering shadows across my simple button-down shirt as my family gathered for what they'd called an important discussion. My brother Marcus adjusted his Rolex, while my sister Jennifer's diamond earrings caught the light. Mother sat perfectly poised in Chanel, and father's custom Italian suit probably cost more than my entire wardrobe. I knew what was coming. The family intervention had been brewing ever since I quit my consulting job 3 years ago to work on my research. Alex, father began, his CEO voice in full effect, we're concerned about your situation. I glanced at my worn laptop bag containing the encrypted drive with my latest hologram breakthroughs. The prototype in my apartment was nearly ready, but they didn't need to know that. 32 years old, Jennifer chimed in, and living in that tiny apartment in Brooklyn. It's embarrassing. The apartment's fine, I said quietly, knowing its spare bedroom held equipment worth more than their cars combined. Marcus snorted. Fine? You can't even afford a proper suit. Look at that off-the-rack disaster. I touched my shirt self-consciously. The fabric was cheap, but it worked well with the motion sensors sewn into the seams. My latest experiment in holographic interface technology. We've been patient, Mother added, sipping her champagne. When you left McKinsey, we assumed it was temporary. A phase. 3 years is a long phase, Marcus smirked. Meanwhile, my hedge fund just closed another billion-dollar deal. My phone buzzed silently in my pocket. Probably Dr. Chin from the quantum lab wanting to discuss our latest breakthrough. I ignored it. I have a position opening up at the firm, Father said. Junior VP. A real job, Alex. No more of this research nonsense. The way he said research made it sound like a disease. If only they knew what was happening in that Brooklyn apartment they so despised. I'm doing fine, I insisted. My work is progressing. Work? Jennifer interrupted. You mean those science fiction drawings? Those crazy light show things? Holograms, I corrected. Interactive quantum-based holographic interfaces. Marcus nearly choked on his wine. Listen to him. Quantum this, hologram that. While the rest of us are making real money, you're playing with lights in your bedroom. My phone buzzed again. Then again. Multiple notifications now. The trust fund isn't infinite, Father warned. And your portion is nearly depleted. I haven't touched the trust fund, I said. Not in 2 years. Then how are you surviving? Mother demanded. We know you haven't had a real job. Another buzz. Then another. The notifications were becoming constant now. Speaking of jobs, Marcus leaned forward. Can't even afford a proper suit to interviews. Looking like some startup wannabe. I finally pulled out my phone, curious about the sudden flurry of activity. The screen was filled with breaking news alerts. Breaking. Revolutionary hologram technology valued at $7.3 billion. Tech world stunned by quantum hologram breakthrough. Pentagon interested in new interactive hologram patents. My face was plastered across every financial news site. The secret was out. What are you smirking at? Jennifer demanded. This is serious, Alex. You need to grow up and... The restaurant's TV, typically showing muted financial news, suddenly caught everyone's attention. The breaking news banner scrolled across the screen, followed by footage from our latest demo. Marcus froze mid-lecture, his eyes widening as he read the headlines. Mother's champagne glass stopped halfway to her lips. That's... Father squinted at the screen. That's impossible. Actually, I stood up slowly, straightening my cheap shirt. That's my patent. All 16 of them to be precise. 7 billion? Jennifer whispered, her diamond earrings suddenly looking rather modest. I tapped my shirt cuff, and a holographic display sprang to life above the table, showing our company's real-time valuation. The motion sensors in my off-the-rack disaster worked perfectly. The suit's not for interviews, I explained, watching their faces transform. It's a prototype, worth about $20 million in R&D. Marcus fumbled for his phone, frantically Googling my name. His face went through several shades of pale as headlines flooded his screen. Quantum holographic interface revolutionizes virtual reality. Military applications could exceed $10 billion. Tech giants in bidding war for hologram patents. But you live in Brooklyn, Mother stammered. In that tiny apartment. You mean my research facility? I pulled up another hologram showing the building's schematics. The tiny apartment, with 3 floors of quantum computing labs underneath? I bought the whole building 2 years ago. Father's CO composure cracked. 2 years? That building's worth 40 million, I finished. Cheap considering the equipment inside. The holographic processor alone cost twice that. Jennifer's perfectly manicured hand shook as she reached for her wine. All those times you couldn't afford to join our vacations. I was in Singapore, I said, installing prototype systems for their defense ministry. Or Tokyo meeting with quantum computing partners. Or Geneva filing international patents. The restaurant's other patrons were starting to stare. Some had recognized me from the news, phones discreetly filming the family drama unfolding. Those weird light patterns in your windows at night, Marcus said weakly. The ones I made fun of on Instagram. Early hologram tests. Each one worth more than your hedge fund's annual revenue. I paused. By the way, your fund's algorithmic trading system? Might want to update it. The quantum processors we're announcing next week will make it obsolete. My phone rang, the White House's technology office. I declined the call, they could wait. But you never said anything, Mother whispered. All those charity galas where I had to explain why you weren't successful like your siblings. You mean the galas held in buildings my company now owns? I smiled. Check the property records. That foundation you chair? We acquired it last month. Father's hand trembled slightly as he reached for his scotch. The position at my firm. Won't be necessary, I finished. Though you might want to update your office security. Our holographic encryption makes your current system look like a child's toy. The TV switched to footage of our latest military demonstration. Soldiers interacting with combat simulation holograms so real they could be touched, felt, manipulated. The technology has medical applications too, I added, watching their faces. That private hospital board you're so proud of serving on, Dad? They're installing our surgical training systems next week. Jennifer's social media influencer instincts kicked in. She was already pulling up old family photos, probably planning some post about her brilliant tech innovator brother. Don't bother, I said, noting her movements. Our PR team has already drafted guidelines about family statements. They'll be in touch with approved talking points. PR team, she echoed weakly. Can't have family members accidentally revealing classified technology details, can we? Those crazy light show things you mocked are now considered matters of national security. Marcus's Rolex suddenly looked cheap compared to the holographic display emanating from my shirt cuff. A display worth more than his car. The trust fund, Father started again, is still untouched, I confirmed. I left it for emergencies. Though my net worth as of... I checked the hovering display 3 minutes ago might make it seem a bit redundant. Mother's social calculations were practically visible behind her eyes. The country club's innovation gala next month has been moved to our new quantum research center, I said. Guest list is restricted to security-cleared individuals. But I'm sure you can watch the highlights on TV. The next morning I stood in my tiny Brooklyn apartment, watching holographic displays dance across the living room. Market analyses, patent valuations, and military contracts floated in pristine 3D, each projection worth more than my family's combined net worth. My phone hadn't stopped buzzing since the Cirque incident. Marcus had called 12 times, Jennifer's PR team had sent 4 partnership proposals, and Mother's social circle was imploding with the news that her disappointing son was now the talk of Wall Street. Dr. Walker, my AI assistant Maya materialized in holographic form. The Pentagon's quantum division is on line 1. The Chinese delegation is on line 2 and your family's lawyers are in the lobby. Of course they were. Your brother tried using his hedge fund credentials to access our secure floor, Maya continued, her holographic form shifting with subtle amusement. The quantum sensors flagged him as a potential corporate spy. Let the lawyers up, I said, adjusting the neural interface band on my wrist. But activate security protocols. No unauthorized scanning devices. The elevator opened moments later, revealing 3 expensive suits containing very nervous lawyers. Their phones and smartwatches had been disabled by our building's quantum field. Standard security for anyone entering our research space. Dr. Walker, the lead lawyer, stepped forward. Your father sent us to discuss the family's interests in your technology. Interests. I waved my hand, bringing up their firm's financial records in holographic detail. You mean like the short positions your firm took against quantum computing last quarter? They stared as their confidential trading data floated before them, each projection clearer than any screen they'd ever seen. How did you? One began. Quantum encryption breaks traditional security like tissue paper, I explained. Maybe mention that to my father's firm before they try accessing our servers again. My neural band pulsed. Another alert from Maya. Your sister is trending on social media. She's posted an old photo claiming she always supported your vision. I pulled up Jennifer's Instagram feed. There it was, a childhood photo of us playing with a flashlight, captioned, "So proud of my brilliant brother. Always knew his light experiments would change the world. #quantum pioneer #proud sister." Interesting. I swiped through her archive, displaying years of mocking posts about my failed career in midair. Should we show her followers what she really thought about those experiments? The lawyers shifted uncomfortably as more holograms filled the room. Every dismissive comment, every snide remark about my work floating in perfect 4D resolution. Your father's firm, the lead lawyer tried again, would like to discuss potential investment opportunities. Investment. I laughed, bringing up their firm's valuation. Your entire company is worth less than one of my hologram patents. The morning sun caught the quantum particles floating through my apartment, making the air shimmer with potential. Below us, 3 floors of laboratories hummed with energy as we pushed the boundaries of what was possible. Dr. Walker, Maya appeared again. The White House science advisor is requesting an immediate conference. Full holographic presence? I asked. Yes. They're particularly interested in the combat simulation system. The lawyer's eyes widened as my living room transformed into a perfect replica of the Oval Office, complete with staff and security personnel. Gentlemen, I addressed the lawyers, I have a meeting with the president. Feel free to tell my family about it. Everyone else will see it on the news anyway. Their faces reflected in the quantum field, showing a mixture of awe and the dawning realization that they were hopelessly outmatched. One more thing, I added as they turned to leave. The trust fund they're so worried about? I've donated it to quantum research scholarships. Seems fitting, they never thought it would fund anything worthwhile. 1 month after the Cirque revelation, I stood in my newly unveiled quantum research center, watching military generals and tech CEOs mingle beneath floating holographic displays. The Manhattan skyline sparkled through quantum-enhanced windows that could turn any surface into an interactive display. My phone showed Jennifer's latest attempt at damage control, a heartfelt LinkedIn post about family innovation legacy and supporting dreamers. Below it, news alerts tracked Marcus's hedge fund's declining value. Turns out quantum computing had indeed made his algorithms obsolete. Dr. Walker, Maya materialized beside me, her holographic form now indistinguishable from reality. The President's Science Council is ready for your briefing. They're particularly interested in the medical applications we demonstrated yesterday. And the family situation? I asked, though my quantum sensors had already analyzed their digital footprints. Your mother has been rejected from 3 charity boards in the past week. Apparently, her previous comments about wasted potential have surfaced. Maya's form flickered with data. She's deleted most of her social media history, but our quantum archive preserved everything. Marcus. His fund lost another 15% today. Our quantum trading systems are reshaping the market faster than his old algorithms. He's applied for a position in our finance division. I pulled up his application. Desperate words tried to turn 3 years of mockery into strategic oversight of emerging technologies. The quantum field hummed as dignitaries arrived. Among them, father's senior partners looked stunned. Your father's firm submitted a merger proposal, Maya said. They're offering their entire tech division. The same division that called our research science fiction nonsense last year? I smiled, showing their shrinking market share. A subtle alert pulsed. Jennifer was in the lobby, scheming again. Her latest blog post is trending, Maya said. She claims she was your earliest investor. Show me the quantum archive. Holograms filled the air, texts, posts, and recordings from years past. Jennifer's voice echoed. Alex is wasting his life with these light shows while we build real careers. The quantum processors hummed louder. Our systems now ran surgeries, military ops, education and entertainment worldwide. Alex. Mother's voice cut through. She stood at the entrance dressed to look tech smart. Security wouldn't let us in. Quantum sensors, I said. They detect intent. Yours registered. Problematic. But we're family, she stepped closer. People are asking why we're not involved in the launch. Are they? I waved. Social media analysis filled the room. Posts calling me disappointing and unable to find a real job. Holograms shifted, showing every insult, every backhanded compliment, every moment they mocked me. We didn't understand, she whispered. No, I said. You didn't try. You were too busy bragging about Marcus's hedge fund and Jennifer's influencer career to see I was changing technology. Through the quantum windows, Jennifer argued with security. Her Instagram story was drafted. So excited to support my brother. #quantum legacy. Your father's firm. Mother started. Becoming irrelevant, I finished. Quantum doesn't need old corporate rules. We're changing technology and business itself. I raised my hand. Holograms showed surgeons across continents, soldiers in perfect simulations, students learning in quantum classrooms. Dr. Walker, Maya said, the Chinese president requests a private conference. Quantum Link is ready. Mother's eyes widened as my office transformed into Beijing's state offices, complete with translating holograms. The family foundation, she tried. It's being restructured, I said. Now focused on quantum education for underprivileged students. People told their dreams were impossible. The quantum field rippled. Marcus was escorted out for trying to access restricted areas. His Rolex triggered the sensors. He'd installed illegal recording software. One last thing, I called. That trust fund you worried about. Its scholarships just produced 3 quantum computing breakthroughs. Wasted potential, paid off. Mother froze, framed by holograms of global impact. I hadn't just succeeded, I'd changed the world. Their lectures about proper careers now seemed small. Dr. Walker, Maya asked, activate the quantum barrier? I nodded. The field solidified, cutting off the past and unauthorized access. Holograms showed technology spreading worldwide, each projection worth more than their family fortune. Let them post their LinkedIn and Instagram updates. The quantum archive remembered everything. Every dismissal, every mockery, every moment they refused to believe. I hadn't built this to prove them wrong. I built it because they weren't strong enough to stop me. The future unfolded in quantum clarity. Every hologram showed what happens when you ignore doubters and pursue the impossible. Sometimes the best revenge isn't success. It's rewriting reality itself.